All right, good deal. Welcome everyone. We appreciate all of you joining us here today to today's ATAP live. My name is John Westbrook. I'm the Senior Talent Acquisition Specialist at Kitware Software Solutions, and I'm also a member of the ATAP's Program Council. And I will be your host for today's live stream as best as I can do. So for those who are new to ATAP or attending your first ATAP event, ATAP is the Association for Talent Acquisition Professionals, was founded in 2016, represents the interest of talent acquisition, recruiting, and staffing professionals at every level worldwide. ATAP's mission is to cultivate a community that sparks innovation, engagement, and knowledge sharing for talent acquisition as a profession as a whole. A couple things, a couple of quick slides to go through before we get things kicked off. ATAP's member-driven organization. It is very much a member-driven organization. 850 individual members. Our corporate members are some of the people you see here on this screen. Are some of our corporate members as well. Excuse me, I apologize. But a sponsor snapshot we have here, some of our platinum sponsors are Greenhouse, Saba, Scout, Gold being Eightfold.ai, People Results, Recruitix, Smart Recruiters, and then those are our silver sponsors as well. Benefit from organizations such as ATAP, or if you yourself are not a member yet, these are some of the member benefits that we have to take a look at. Our goal is to help advance ATAP's work. Please share atapglobal.org and join or renew today if you've not already, to network with talent acquisition professionals and increase your talent acquisition knowledge, and build and help continue to build talent acquisition standards and advocate for TA related issues. So a couple programming notes for today. We've got a great topic, something really interesting for sure, and something I think you're all going to really enjoy. But a couple of things, the session is being recorded, as you may have heard me start that earlier. The recorded session and the slide deck will be sent to everyone who registered for the event. I have a quick Q&A session towards the end. We don't want to hold people too long. I understand this is most people's lunch break. But to participate, what we'll try and do is get as many questions in the chat during the event as possible, and we'll kind of come back to those towards the end. So today's session is titled Stop Funnel Shrinkage, the 9 points where video closes candidate dropout points. Today's live stream is being presented by Maury Hanigan. Maury is a recruiting strategist and the CEO of SparkStart. So with that, Maury, I will hand it over to you and let you start sharing your screen.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely.
I will start. Let me just get from the beginning. There we go. You get our title slide again? All's good.
Got it.
Wonderful. I will tell you we are anticipating potentially some technical issues, but hopefully we'll get through this as best we can. Thank you, John. Nice to be part. I have been a member of ATAP since its founding. I think it's an important organization. I think the work they're doing and the knowledge building they're undertaking is wonderful. So if any of you aren't a member, let me reinforce that idea. It's one of the most reasonably priced things you can belong to, and absolutely worth it. I'd highly encourage you to become members if you aren't already. With that, let me just tell you very briefly about me so you understand what my perspective is and where I'm getting my data. I am CEO of SparkStart. SparkStart is a video management platform. We have two different products, Spark, which puts hiring manager video into job descriptions and on career sites, and Amplify, which is a platform that creates and shares videos. I tell you this so you'd understand that on the SparkStart platform now, we have more than 10,000 videos that have been uploaded to the platform. SparkStart's an 8-year-old company. So I have access to the mother lode of videos, of data around videos. We're obviously working with clients that are doing a lot of leading edge work on videos. So I live and breathe videos and am knee deep into data on videos. So I've got a ton of data, a ton of examples. A lot of the examples on our platform are obviously copyrighted to clients, so I can't share them, but some clients are really wonderful and will allow us to share either videos and or the data about the results they're getting. So we're also being used globally, so my perspective is global as well. And I'm seeing people make a huge difference in their program over the use of video. So I want to start with a quick poll, and John, we're going to see if we get the poll started. I'm interested, for those of you who engaged, what % of your candidates drop out once they've engaged? And John, if you can launch the poll so you can answer. And let me just specify that I've talked about once they engage, and we consider engagement from the time they see your posts on social media, come to your website. So I'm not just talking about people who drop out during the interview or the final phases, but if you really look at your funnel of the people that you get in front of their eyeballs, how many people see an opportunity at your organization and drop out? So we're getting a lot of no ideas here. That looks like we've got all 2 polls ending up. We'll give this just a couple more minutes if people.
Oh, sorry about that. It launches all 3 of them. That's a new thing for me. I thought it was going to do one at a time. So
okay. Well, we'll ask you right now just to respond to the first one. So what % of your candidates drop out once they've engaged? And I'm not surprised that we're seeing the no idea fairly strong because a lot of people don't track it, which I understand it takes time to track everything, but once you start to track it and then track where you're losing them, you can start to address this. Okay, so we'll give just 1 or 2 more seconds for people. We've got one brave person who's under 25%. And congratulations, if that's what you're doing. I suspect you've got a very focused program if it's really that low. 25 to 50% doesn't surprise me at all. The 50 to 75%, particularly if you consider engagement to start with the career site. We've seen some numbers out of our clients that measure the conversion of visitors to their career site to actual applicants. And a really good conversion rate is somewhere around 4 to 6%. So that would mean you'd be losing 96 to 94% of your candidates are coming to your website, looking at opportunity and then bouncing. Doesn't mean they won't come back, but that's a pretty high number. We're working with a client right now who is hiring hourly workers, and they have a no-show rate at their interview stage that's north of 80% at the interview stage, which just amazes me that people who commit to a specific time to come in for an interview and then just ghost them and never show. That's just a stunning, stunning stat. So one of the things I'll start off is encourage you to really start to measure those things and measure where people fall off, because that's the easiest way to understand where to put your resources and how you can change that. Okay, I'll end the polling from here. Oh, whoops. Relaunching will clear polling results. All right, I'm going to share results. John, I'm not sure what I did, but we may start it again. The next thing I want to do real quickly, and before we jump into the real content here, is a different kind of poll, if you will. And this is one that we can't do online, but just understand what are the primary reasons that candidates drop out. And I'm going to ask you in the chat to just type in the reasons that you believe that candidates drop out, either what they're telling you or what you're assuming. So,
Maury, do you want me to stop sharing the results real quick so they can see the screen?
Oh, sure. Yep, that'd be great.
Okay. All right.
Sorry. I'm not seeing the results.
If
I can see the chat, but I'm not seeing the results. Can you share them?
Yeah.
Ah, there we go. All right. So we had 15% said that less than 25% of their candidates drop out. 23% thought it was somewhere between 25 and 50. Only 8% between 50 and 75, and 15% over 75. But here might be the real number. 38% have no idea. And when you think about the effort and the resources you're putting into attracting candidates, understanding where they drop out and why they drop out is really important. So there's your first takeaway. To the extent that you can, and you have information about the number of visitors to your career site. I don't believe there's any career site out there that doesn't have at least Google Analytics hooked up to it, if not really more sophisticated analytics. You can see how many people come to you, even a specific job posting page on your site, and how many of those convert to applicants. So that's a great first way to get going. Okay, John, do you want to stop the sharing? Can you do that on your side? And
Yep.
we'll go to our second question, which is why are the candidates dropping out? What's happening and why are you losing them? I'm still seeing the poll. Have you?
Okay. I can. So I've stopped sharing results. Let me close it out.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Now, can all of you see the chat? I'm assuming you can see the chat either on my screen or on your own screens. So let's look at reasons why candidates are dropping out. Application is too long, kiss of death. and that's a hard one to really battle your organizations. We've seen clients that have gotten down to applications that take 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. Really thinking through what information is qualifying versus what information is really required at the very first stage of recruiting. That's a tough one. Application process is too long. This is tough, particularly trying to set up interviews and so forth. Yeah, you lose people. This is a hot job market. We're finding that you can lose people in 24, 48 hours. Not a culture fit, poor interview experience, application not mobile enabled. Boy, technology problems, those are tough ones to deal with. Remote versus non-remote work. Hiring process is too time consuming for passive candidates, not ready to relocate. Remote is huge. Yeah, we're all hearing a lot about remote. Compensation, we hear that a lot. Compensation is a problem, may indeed be the real issue, may be a graceful way to bow out. Accepted another job offer that tells me there's a process that's too slow to grab a candidate. Not a good experience with hiring manager. That's a hard one to battle. Change their mind about relocation. All right, real range of issues here. And interestingly, there may be reasons there that candidates are giving you because they want to be polite and they want to bow out gracefully. And when they bow out, they want to really bow out. They don't want someone to come back and go, wait, you didn't understand, or there's more here. Once they've decided this is not for them, they want to bow out. So let's look at where in the candidate journey you lose people. And I've simplified this funnel here to 4 major pieces: attraction, assessment, offer, and onboarding. And we all know there are multiple phases within this. But what are the most common reasons we hear for why candidates drop out, or what we see in that? The very first piece is when they're seeing it in the attraction stage. They're seeing on social media there's a job, or something comes across their screen, or they're looking even at job boards. We're getting a sense that this is generic. There's nothing special here. I actually interviewed a candidate from my own firm this morning, and we were talking about the recruiting process. And he said, you know, you read these job descriptions and everybody's using the same keywords so that they're coming up in searches and so forth, and they all look exactly the same. It's really hard to stand out and differentiate your opportunity. Your warehouse job looks like everybody else's warehouse job. Your lab technician job looks like everybody else's lab technician job. And they all just become wallpaper to the candidates. And so there's no reason for them to get engaged and really want this job and pursue this job. On the assessment phase, we see people dropping out because they're not even sure they want this job. They may have applied for it, may have looked good at the time, but there's not a commitment there. And this is when if things are taking too long or they hit a bump in the road, this lack of commitment is really easy for them to drop out. And this has clearly become acute because of all the remote recruiting that's going on. They don't have the connection with you, a recruiter, with the hiring manager, with the team. They're just not connected and engaged in this job. When you get to the offer stage, the candidates are saying, is there enough incentive to jump? And the incentive might be salary. And oftentimes if the salary is not there, they're not going to jump. But we know from candidates, it's more than just the salary. It's career growth, it's training, it's opportunity, it's challenge, it's a chance to make an impact. We've all seen the studies about all the things that go into a candidate's decision to accept a job. Compensation is absolutely important, but it's just one of the pieces that go in there. And if you've got a candidate who doesn't know or isn't sure about all of those different things, they've got a salary in front of them, but they're not really sure that they want this job, it's pretty easy to decline it. And then lastly, on onboarding, we're seeing a really disturbing trend of people accepting jobs and then just not showing up, of just completely ghosting. And some of that is a question of who are these people? It's very likely they haven't met anyone in person. They've never set foot on site. They don't really have a sense of who their team workers are. They don't have a sense of the vibe of the place. It's just too much of a black hole. And we're seeing more and more of this, again, because of remote, that candidates just don't feel comfortable. This is a place I really want to be. These are people I want to be around. This is where I want to trust my career. So let's back up and go all the way through the recruiting cycle and look at all the places that you can lose people and talk about where video and how video can help. And I'm going to break awareness into two pieces. One, just the social media awareness. And the second piece is either sourcing or a website where there's actual contact between two people. There's a very general awareness piece, and then there's actually engaging with somebody, an awareness piece. You can lose candidates in both places. But whether you go through an education, whether you're just building your employer brand, whether we consider the nurturing part where a candidate actually or a recruiter actually reaches out and makes contact, maybe introduces themselves, does a screening interview or an engagement. Candidates go through and apply. You can lose people, lots of drop off during the application process, lots of drop off in interview, particularly if you're using asynchronous. A lot of candidates are uncomfortable recording to a screen and there's nobody on the other side. We're seeing people drop off and not accept offers. The pre-start, that dead zone where you're going through reference checking and people are just kind of hanging out there, and then the onboarding piece. So I'm going to walk through and look at, are you attracting candidates like this? Are you on social media putting out your job descriptions? And it took me about 2 seconds to go through my LinkedIn scroll feed to find this. There are probably, I think, every third post in my LinkedIn feed is somebody who's got a job that's available, that they've done a link to their career site, and these become like wallpaper. The response rate to these are very, very low. Bravo for getting it on social media, but there's no engagement here. There's no warmth here. This doesn't differentiate this job from any other job. And I'm sorry to pick on General Mills because it's ubiquitous out there. People are just posting a job description on social media. Social media is designed for multimedia. That's where you get the engagement. So I'm going to take you through a case study. Many of you may know Chloe Rada. She's been very active in ATAP. She does a lot of work for the organization. And she's clearly one of the stars of recruitment marketing and employer branding. Chloe's got real following. If you're not connected to her, I recommend you connect to her just to keep an eye on what she's doing because it's always interesting. It's always fun. She's recruiting right now for her own team, and she did what everybody else did as a kind of knee-jerk reaction. She put a link in her LinkedIn and Facebook feeds because she was recruiting for her team. And this got a whopping 21 likes from friends and so forth, but not a lot of real engagement or power here. And then she kind of went, oh, I use video for all kinds of things, employer branding. Why don't I use it for myself? And so Chloe made a video for the position on her team, and she put it in her LinkedIn and Facebook feeds. The video, you can see, this is when I grabbed the screenshot, it had 74 likes and engagements, 21 comments, 4 shares. This video generated more than 6,600 views, a total of 115 likes and engagements, and I lost track of the number of comments, but clearly north of 21. Now, Chloe's got a large social following, and she's really well known, but the difference for the same person who put in a text job description versus a video, same person, same number of contacts, same outlets, absolutely night and day. The number of people who engaged, she also told me that she sent this video through emails to people individually, and she got responses back from them when she sent the video. The difference in response rate was just amazing. Now comes our moment of truth, John, where we see if the audio will work with this. This is where we were concerned. I'm going to show you this video, and I'm hoping that you can hear the audio. Yes? Whoops.
I can't hear it.
You can't hear it? Okay. We got lots of videos, and then I'll describe them to you. Chloe goes through and just talks about the job. It's not a long video. It's very informal. You can see it's not professionally led, professionally boomed. She just turned on her webcam and she talked to people. And one of the really wonderful things about this video is she didn't try to read a script. It doesn't sound manufactured. She just talks to you, and you get a sense of her energy and what she's got to offer. And later in the video, if I can see if I can advance this.
So Maury, I'm gonna interrupt real quick. It looks like Chloe is actually here today, and
Chloe
has just made a comment in the chat that I think is interesting. She says, "No, and important since most video are watched without sound," which is a really good point to make there. Actually, I think.
Yep. Yes.
Thanks, Chloe.
Okay, I'll let you read the subscript. Okay, oops, I'm gonna stop it there. Let me go back to it for a second. And it's got more energy when you can hear Chloe's voice, but yes, she's absolutely right. You want to add closed captions to your videos so that people who are watching it on social media can do it. But this was it was a great video, and it produced amazing results. And a great example of how to do it and do it well. Easy, it didn't cost her anything to do it. It took the videos less than a minute long for the entire thing. And just a great way to get people's attention. So let's walk through the candidate journey and see what's the content that's going to make the difference as you go through this. And we're going to start with the attraction social media piece. In terms of who do you get to record these things, because it can make a big difference in your response rates. On the very front end, when you're just trying to raise your awareness, get people to focus on you as an employer, focus on possible opportunities there. This really doesn't matter. There are lots of people in your organization who can get someone's attention. And the more people you get engaged in making videos, the more likely they are to share it on their social media. So the more likely you are to get a broad audience. And the content at the very front end can be specific opportunities, or it can be culture. We've seen lots of people do really wonderful things, just talking about their organization, talking about what it's like to work there, talking about, we have a client that just did a shout out to coworkers and made those public. So people talked about people on their team that they appreciated. Really just wonderful things you can do. People who do videos about the kind of community service that individuals in the organization do. This is pretty wide open at the very beginning, how you can do these. As long as you've got a phone that's got a camera in it, and all of you have a phone with a camera in it, it's pretty easy to get this video and share it and start to raise the awareness and get people to focus on the organization. And then the next step is, what are the opportunities in that organization? I can play you this video, but if you can't hear the audio to it, this is just somebody who is a team member. He happens to be in a finance position, and he just talks about what it's like, what his day is like, and why he likes working for this organization. Again, it's informally shot, it's short. If you're going to be doing attraction, we'd recommend that you keep them under 30 seconds. The viewership drops in half once you get beyond 30 seconds in the attraction stage. Realize that when you're at the very beginning of a job search, a candidate's not committed to your opportunities yet. So they're just kind of window shopping, if you will. They're not going to sit and watch a 2-minute video. Under 30 seconds is absolutely huge. So you can get anybody and everybody in your organization to make a video. They can record it themselves. We're all getting used to seeing videos shot in people's apartments and homes and living rooms or out in the backyard, whatever. This is not only acceptable, it feels real. It feels authentic when you get people to just create a quick self video and talk about their opportunities. So easy place to do that. Oops. Then when you go to the career site, putting video onto the job posting page, and I'm not talking about the home pages of your career site. Actually, the video viewership there is very low because most of your traffic comes to the job posting page on your career site. And if you can put a hiring manager video there, you will see a huge difference in the conversion of visitors to applicants. People who will come, they'll listen to the hiring manager video. They're just curious. If they're curious enough to have come to your job posting page, whether they've linked to it somewhere else or they found it through a search, when you can say to them, meet your boss. Meet your boss is hugely powerful. And again, these should be very, very short videos. Here we recommend 20-second videos, informal. Please don't let your hiring managers read something. They know the job. They understand what either challenge the candidate would have, what satisfaction they'd get out of the job, what kind of training they'd get, whatever the highlights of the job. If you ask them, why would a candidate want this job? Why is this a good job? If you can get your hiring manager to record a 20-second video for you and put it into the job posting on your career site, you're going to see a dramatic change in not only the number of applicants, but even the quality of applicants. Because what the video does is it slows people down, they stop and they listen to the hiring manager. And if the hiring manager has said something even remotely interesting, they will stop and then read more on the page and learn more about the job. So they make a good decision to opt in or opt out, and you end up with a higher quality candidate pool. So important to have the hiring manager there. And at this point, you're talking about the specifics of the job. So this, again, another video I wish I could play for you because this is wonderful. This is a woman who is a hiring manager. She talks about the opportunity she has, the kind of challenges they're facing, and the chance to really contribute to the team. It's short, it's 20 seconds. She obviously shot it at her desk, but it's real. And you get to meet your boss and get a flavor for the job. So now all of a sudden, this isn't just another generic job with generic keywords that are put in. You've got a little more flavor for it. It's something that's differentiated. It's something that's real. You have a sense of who you'd work for. You have a reason to be interested in this. This job is going to stand out because you understand something about the team and the culture and the personalities of the people who are there. It's just a great way to convert people once they come to their career site.
Hey, Maury?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was trying to do some research real quick on getting the sound working. I didn't know if you wanted to do a quick trial on the share your screen button. There's supposed to be a checkbox that says to also share your sound. Is what I just received back from someone. I'm trying to see if we can get it solved while we're in the method. I don't know if you see that or not on your side when you're sharing your screen.
Let me stop sharing for a second and share screen. And share sound. Bingo. Brilliant. Thank you. All right.
Problem.
So let me have you listen to.
Hi, I'm Doreen,
Yes.
and I am the Senior Director of Customer Loyalty for the Life Sciences Division. And we have a wonderful opportunity for the Director of Product Management to lead a very exciting initiative for the company where we are trying to build one-to-one relationships with our customer. And this position in particular is going to be at the core of really helping us to evolve and expand our new loyalty program so that we can touch our customers in a very different way and start to really get to know them better than we have before. So please apply.
wonderful, relatable video, not and done on a cell phone camera. It's just, but it really differentiates this job. All right, we're moving on to the education process. Any of you that have CRMs that are doing nurturing campaigns, that are reaching out to candidates, keeping in touch with them, that you're pipelining all of this, this is where video can be really important. There are only so many times that you can reach out to someone and say, hey, we've got these jobs available and these jobs available. Here, if you can send a video, it will make a big difference because it will get engagement. What we recommend here is either a product manager or a group head or a division head, someone who can talk about the vision of the organization or maybe the challenges of the organization, some of the initiatives they're taking, a reason to understand, hey, there may be something special going on here. And again, these are short. These are 20 to maybe 30-second videos. If you can ask anyone in your management line for the jobs that you're creating to say, hey, can you just talk about what's exciting, what's new, what are we doing that's innovative, or what are we doing that would make a candidate say, gee, they've got some cool stuff going on there. I'd like to be part of that. Is it the size of the data you work with? Is it the size of the market? There's so many things I find, particularly people in organizations, they take for granted. Their scale, their reach, their impact. And sometimes you have to back them up a little bit and say, hey, not everybody's dealing on this scale, or sometimes it's the one-to-one and the ability to make a big difference. So education can be really important with sending out videos and getting people to stay engaged with you, and not having all of the emails that you're doing for nurturing just become more junk mail that they just delete without looking. If you include a video, they will watch it by and large. Not 100% of them, but the majority of them will watch it. And then we go to outreach for when you're actually making contact with a candidate, whether you're a sourcer and you're reaching out and trying to just engage a candidate, or you're doing a first kind of screen. Here, if you're not getting the kind of response you want, just a quick introduction of yourself. Use your cell phone, use your laptop. Again, keep it short, but just put a human face and a human voice on the outreach. Everybody knows right now, we're all hearing that there are candidates that are just being bombarded with offers. In recruiting, it seems like everybody's being, sourced and reached out to because there's so many jobs in recruiting right now. And you understand that at some point you just can't respond to them all. If you include a quick video that just says, hi, here's who I am. Here's the opportunity that I have. Here's what I'd like to talk to you about. Here's my expectation. Here's what I can potentially offer you. That will make a big difference. I'm going to show you just the first of this.
Hey guys, it's Adrienne Kinzer with Management Recruiters. Thanks so much for taking a couple minutes to view this text video. Wanted to actually reach out to you in a little bit of a unique way. Obviously, as communication methods change, we try and stay ahead of it. So I hope you can appreciate this direct approach. Want to just reach out because we picked up in the last couple of days 2 planning opportunities on a managerial level. We actually have a manager of corporate planning, which, as you know, is a high financial position. It's something that's, just an additional step away from the product, but definitely high visibility on a team that is very well respected within this company. We also have a manager of merchandise planning, which is focused on the apparel side. And want to just reach out to you and see if either might be a fit. They are located in the Northeast, and just based on your background, I definitely think it would be worth a conversation. So take a minute, text me back your availability. I'd love to have a conversation, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.
Now, obviously, an agency recruiter who's just made a quick video, put a human face and a human voice on it, and done a really nice job. We also, when you get to the apply stage, I'm sure if you track your metrics, you see a lot of people who start applications and don't complete them. And there are a lot of opportunities here, depending on what your apply process looks like. We're seeing people that have done things in their apply process. If they're applying to a particular location, having a video pop up of that location so people can see it and have a sense of the offices and so forth. Having coworkers make a video can be very important to say, hey, here's why I'm here, here's what's important. Or even the interviewers, particularly if you're talking about high volume hiring. The apply process often immediately leads to an interview. There's not a lot of pre-screen. And this is all just about reasons to join. just reinforce why somebody wants to push through and finish that application. We saw in the poll earlier on, a lot of people said the application is just too long. If you don't know why you want this job, if you don't know what's good about it, it can be really easy to just bail out halfway through. But if you've got a reason why there may be a good opportunity for yourself here, you go ahead and you keep going. I'm going to show you a video that is attached to an application.
Hey there, my name's
short.
Kanwar Gill. I'm the head of account management at Clearbank. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what an account manager does on a day-to-day. The account management team is focused on supporting our clients from a capital perspective as well as a growth perspective overall. We look to build deep, meaningful relationships with our client base. We provide them with, feedback on their performance using our products, and we also make suggestions to them to help them improve their business. The overarching goal of the account management team is to help our clients become the best e-commerce entrepreneurs that they can be. And that could mean sending over a referral to a marketing agency. That could mean sending them a box of chocolates when they hit a revenue milestone. It really is a role that allows you to kind of make it your own, and it's a lot of fun doing it when you get to see the success that our clients end up seeing. The thing that makes an account manager good at their job is a high emotional intelligence, work ethic, organizational skill to manage your book of business, and creativity. We're looking for people that can come in and really make the role their own, and the most successful people in this role have been able to do that. In terms of what working at Clearbank is like, Clearbank is a family. We care about everyone that works here. We support each other. We support each other's growth. And in all honesty, we're here to just crush it. So if you think that this role might be good for you, please apply.
One of the many things I like about this video is that he didn't read it. He just talked to you. It's longer than I would recommend you do as a pre-application video. But if someone's looked at the job, they're thinking maybe they'll apply, he's given you enough sense of the job that you understand why you'd want to apply and what there is at the other end. But mostly I like it for the credibility. I like it for how straightforward it is. Obviously, he understands the job. He's the hiring manager. He knows what the role is, so he can explain it easily. When you get to the interview phase, lots of you are using video for interviewing, and there are pros and cons to that. Whenever you can use live video for interviews, obviously better than recorded, but if you're doing high volume, recording is probably all that you can do. And if you're using recorded video, and you're probably seeing some fall off of candidates who are just not comfortable recording their answers when there's nobody on the other side to talk to, that can be a disconcerting kind of thing to do. We've seen it can really help keep candidates engaged if you can get the hiring manager to make a short video that just says, hi, I've seen your resume. I'm interested in your background. I'd like to learn more. You're going to get a link to a video interview. Please complete it as quickly as you can because I'm eager to see some more information about you. Thank you. That can be a generic video. It doesn't have to name the candidate by name. But once you've got that short video, if you can send that to candidates, the candidate understands that somebody's going to look at their answers and understand somebody's waiting for their answers. Somebody's interested in them. It also gives them a face and a voice and a sense of who they're talking to. So they're not just talking to their phone or talking to their laptop, which feels really strange if you're not accustomed to doing it. So that quick video that you have a hiring manager go out and just say, hey, I'm interested in learning more about you. Please complete the interview as soon as you can. That can help you keep candidates engaged and get them through that hurdle. We've also seen with the application process, we're working with Hourly, the AMS version, the division is doing a lot of high volume, and they have candidates come in for warehouse positions and do interviews as part of their process. And they made this really quick video that goes out with the reminder for the on-site tour and interview.
Hi, I'm Priya. Your plant tour is almost here. We make on-the-spot offers for candidates who are qualified. We'll be waiting here for you to arrive.
quick, short video. It puts a face on it. It tells somebody that someone's waiting for them and expecting them. Obviously, this is a generic video. It goes out with all of the reminders about the plant tour and interview, but it has absolutely helped to reduce the ghosting because it just makes it more human. The more you automate processes, the less human connection you have. So anytime you can reinsert a little bit of humanity, you get people that are more engaged. And that, I think, was an 11-second video, really quick, obviously done on a home screen. This is another video on the interview part that's made by McGraw-Hill that just gives some interview tips for people before they do live interviews.
My name is Andrea Quillen, and I'm the Talent Acquisition Director at McGraw-Hill. I lead our global recruitment team, who is responsible for selecting and hiring talent into our organization. My job is really exciting as it allows me to work across different business units and geographies, collaborate with many different stakeholders, and I get to make an impact by ensuring we are hiring the right talent that meets our organizational needs of the future. I want to congratulate you on making it to the interview stage and give you a few tips to set you up for success. Every role has a slightly different interview process.
I'm going to stop it there because the video is fairly long. And once someone gets as far as an interview, you can do longer videos. They want to know how to succeed. But this is a nice video. She just talks to you and you have a sense that she wants you to succeed. This is a great video, having people feel comfortable moving forward. So lots of opportunities to do videos here. I'm conscious of the time, so I'm going to move a little quickly to make sure we get everything in. Moving on to the offer stage. Having a hiring manager make a quick video that tells the candidate why they got the offer makes a huge difference in your offer accept rate. So with an offer letter, if you can include a video that says, hey, Carl, I really love your strategic skills. I think you're going to make a great addition to the team. I'm happy to extend this offer and hope you accept. It tells the candidate that they're special, that the hiring manager saw something special in them. There's a very concrete reason why they've been made the offer. It's not just, oh, we're desperate for anybody, so we're going to throw offers out there. It's, I've looked at you and I see something special that really is important to us. It adds, again, it just adds another layer, reinforcing to the candidate that they've been seen, they've been heard, they're valued, they bring something valuable to the role and can make a big difference in their acceptance rates and how good they feel about the offer. I'm going to go back to a quick poll. And John, if you will launch our last poll, I've talked a lot about having hiring managers do quick clips, and they can do these on their phones, their laptops, any way you want. Question is, will your hiring managers create videos? If we scroll down to the last poll.
Do you want me to relaunch it? It looks like several people actually went ahead and completed it, unfortunately, just the way it was set up. But
that's not unfortunate, that's fine. Well,
no, yeah, sorry, yeah, absolutely.
Anybody else? Oh, I guess we'd have to relaunch it, which would wipe it out. Let's in the consideration of time, let's leave this because it's kind of interesting to see that would hiring managers create video clips? 15% said absolutely if it gets their position filled. That's really encouraging. And I think one of the few good things this pandemic has done is gotten people over their video phobia. They're used to being on Zoom all the time. They're used to how they look on camera. And so they're much more willing to make videos than they were even a year and a half ago. So hiring managers are understanding that, being visible is important, particularly in remote times. So you've got 15%. That's not a huge number, but it's still an encouraging number. But the next one is most of them with some encouragement. Yeah, if you can put side by side that text only posting I showed you from LinkedIn versus a video and say, look, I'm as a recruiter willing to go out and work hard and find candidates, and I can either promote your position with this job description or I can promote it with a video. And you tell me, what do you think is going to attract candidates to the job? That can be a really compelling argument when you can do a side by side and just say, you want someone really good. What do you think is going to make a candidate pick their head up and focus for the couple of minutes they need to focus to understand what it is we're offering here? You get much more cooperation out of your hiring managers there. We've got a couple who are asking for innovation, 46, most of them. Sometimes you have to start with a few people who really want to do something different, are willing to do something different. And then you've got your internal case studies. You can go back and say, look, Ann made this video and here's the kind of results we got. You know, John did this and here's what we've got. Anika did it and these are the results it produced. So it's when you've got a couple of, pioneers and trailblazers in your organization, keep track of your metrics and it really makes it easy. I'm really thrilled that no one chose only if I duct tape them to their chair. No one's who's completely resistant. Although I think we've got a client right now where some more person is actually dealing with that, trying to get people to make videos. But it's in part because of COVID, it's become much easier to get cooperation because your hiring managers understand the value of video and visibility. Let's move on down to the pre-start. This is an interesting time when you have a candidate who is been made an offer and you're going through all the reference checking. We often refer to this as the dead zone. It's that time where they haven't started yet, they've accepted the offer, they're hanging out there, and they're starting to wonder, do I really want to make this move? Maybe their current employer is making a counter offer. Maybe it means for them, is it a physical move? Is it going back to the office when they've been remote? There's change that's happening and it gives people a chance to reconsider things. And right now, they probably haven't met any of the other members of the team. And that can be a really reinforcing factor in accepting a new job. You like the folks you're going to work with. There's somebody new to learn from, new people to engage with. There are no political problems with any of these folks because they're all new to you. But that draw isn't working for you right now because the candidate probably hasn't been on site and hasn't met the rest of the team. So here, having the other team members pick up and record a quick video. You don't have to go through the scheduling of trying to hook them up live, but we've seen some really wonderful things where people just make a quick video that says, hey, I understand you're going to join us. I'm excited about that. I'm a Yankees fan. If you're a Mets fan, we're going to have a problem, but otherwise we're okay. Or God forbid you're a Tar Heel, in which case we probably won't speak. When we get back in the office, there's a sushi place down the street that I really like. Or here are some things, that on the weekends I play ultimate Frisbee. If you're interested, love to talk to you about that. Just put some humanity to it. These can be really short clips that people reach out and just say, I understand you're about to join us. We're excited about having you. And it helps the candidate feel welcome, helps them feel that they're going to really be able to succeed because they're going to have people around them that they're going to feel comfortable with and really be part of that team. Let me tell you this quick video that did just that.
잘 같이 냈습니다. 사연 실력을 배우게 잘 좋아했습니다.
Okay, I'm going to assume that none of you speak Korean, and obviously neither does he. But I just thought it was a good example of someone who made a real effort to welcome someone to a team. Obviously a global team. He speaks enough Korean that he got away with. I'm sorry, it's not Korean, it's Mandarin, right? Somebody, anybody? My limited languages. But it was just a nice gesture and made someone feel that they were making an effort to welcome them. Just a great use of video. Here's another quick one from McGraw-Hill that I like a lot.
I'm James and I'm the Regional Head of Sales for Europe, the Middle East and Africa in McGraw-Hill's Professional Division. I joined McGraw-Hill on the 1st of June 2020. Yeah, that's right in the middle of the global coronavirus pandemic and certainly in the UK, right in the middle of lockdown. Haven't met any of my team yet, haven't met any of my customers yet. To be honest, I've not really left the house in the last couple of months working for McGraw-Hill, and I've become really familiar with video calls, as many of us have. However, what I have seen every day is the tireless work from everybody across the McGraw-Hill family to support every one of our customers to amend and adapt their approach to teaching and learning as a result of this pandemic. We talk a lot in McGraw-Hill about learning having the power to change everything. Well, everything is changing at the moment, and this organisation is right at the forefront of supporting customers across the globe to really rise to that challenge.
Just a nice statement about the organization and how he feels about it. And then lastly, onboarding. With all remote onboarding, having video showing people how to set up their tech stack and so forth is really important. Showing as well as telling is really important, and having people feel comfortable and confident that they're going to start off on the right foot. Video can be really powerful there. So last one, Paul, the question, video would make a difference for me where? And John, do you want to just pull up that poll if people have already, we'll take it down to the last. Oh, and we cut off the final pieces here.
So yeah, those were, for some reason it wouldn't allow those responses there, unfortunately.
But you see, obviously people are using a lot of video on the very front end, but it's important to understand there are different touch points. Any place that you're having a touch point with a candidate, video is going to be more powerful than just text. And there's no belief that once this pandemic is over, that text is going to have some great resurgence and people are really going to want to read paragraphs of text and bullet points. We get our information primarily from video, and the fact that talent acquisition hasn't embraced it and used it as a primary vehicle is really surprising, but that shift is happening really quickly. We're seeing clients with video libraries that go into the hundreds, and in some cases the thousands of videos, that they're making informal videos to reach out to people and doing that quickly. It's really changing fast, and I'd encourage you, if your organization isn't using video to do it, that you do it now. With that, let me quickly leave, we're almost out of time, but we've got 5 minutes. Do we have any questions, John, in the chat?
I've not seen any come in yet.
Okay, then let's ask if we have questions about how to do the videos, how to share them. If you're going to do them at scale, I'd recommend you get a platform to help you organize them and make them available to everybody and do some quick edits and so forth. But that doesn't preclude you from doing just an individual video on your phone and sharing it. But yeah, once you start to do this at scale, having a platform really does make a difference.
Yeah, I think it's also important to highlight what Chloe mentioned earlier, is adding the captions. I know for me personally, as I'm scrolling through LinkedIn on my phone at night, when other people are watching TV, it's better to not have the volume on and that sort of thing. So that's a really good point that Chloe mentioned earlier.
Yep, great. Yep. That's why she's got such a following. Always good points from Chloe. All right. Well, let's let people, if there are no more questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm Maury at sparkstart.com, and always happy to talk about video, give suggestions. I've obviously got lots of examples of different kinds of videos, ideas about what makes video work and not work, suggestions on length, depending on where in the process you're going to use it. So I'm always happy to discuss it with you guys.
So it does look like we have one come in from Bethany. I may have missed this. Is there any stats you share with companies to help them understand the importance of the videos?
I almost am going to answer no to that, because the amount of information out there about the 4 billion hours worth of video that's been uploaded to YouTube, the percent of internet traffic that goes to video, the response rates when you have video versus text. There's a lot of information out there, and by and large, people get it. No one thinks that 5 paragraphs of text and 19 bullet points are more engaging than a 30-second video. That's a pretty easy answer to get to. That may not be as helpful an answer as you want, but, and Chloe is ready to share a presentation with storytellers. We do have some data that Ben Eubanks of Lighthouse Research and Advisory put together on what video candidates want to see and what makes a difference, and particularly hiring manager video. I've got that data available. If you're interested, reach out. But the video piece, I think everyone understands right now with the lack of candidates, the lack of traffic on job boards, you've got to do something different. The world has changed. It's about to change. You need to be leading edge to do this. It has shifted. And it's gone to video, and to some degree you may be playing catch up, but you need to get video in as a core tool to anything you're doing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Maury. I really appreciate that. I'm going to put this information up real quick just for everybody to see. This is information about ATAP. The contact email, our Facebook, our Twitter, atapglobal.org is the website. We have another live stream coming up, I believe, on July 29th. And also want to just go ahead and put this out there to remind everybody about Global Talent Acquisition Day, or coming up in October, I believe. There's going to be some really great events that ATAP's going to be sponsoring going around that. And otherwise, I want everyone to please just give a big thank you to Maury. Really appreciate it. I apologize difficulties that we experienced there, but got through. I think it was a fantastic presentation. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, guys. Bye. Thanks.
All right. Stop recording.